let's talk about Big Dreamin. What is your NFL prediction? Because there's nothing wrong. Because no one has the right answers, or else you'd, be rolling in the money like Scrooge McDuck, diving into a pool of gold. No one knows. The best gamblers out there,
Queens of the Stone Age style.
The best gamblers out there hit between 50 and 60%. No one's going through an NFL season with an 80% winning percentage on their wagers. That's ridiculous.
Well, let me ask you a question then, football guru, Dickie Doodle Davis. Rich Davis, 49ers guy, they're favorites to go pretty far. Let's just say that, right? I say they're Super Bowl bound. They should be. Making big moves.
Which makes it a bad prop bet. But
okay,
yes,
so let me ask you this, though, based on that. If it's a playoff-bound team, they should not be in the conversation, correct?
Yeah.
So this is like the maybes and the, like, who the heck knows?
It could be a player. It could be a team. You're big dreaming. Because Danny G, you hit us up with that meme that's been floating around where it categorizes your team. And I agree with this. The first category is the favorites. Chiefs, Niners, Ravens, Lions, Eagles. And there's the next category of playoff bound, but are they ready? Like the Bengals, the Packers, Cowboys, Bills. There's
Texans.
Layers of teams. So give me your long shot. Give me your, you might think I'm crazy, but that's what I'm looking for here. Give me your big dream. Let's start with Jordan in the queue. So what's up, Jordan? COVINO Rich.
What's up, guys? Gonna start with what I fell for. I clicked on a spam email that just annihilated anyone I have ever emailed in the past year. I was chilling on my lunch break on a Friday, and my boss called me, and they're like, "You just emailed like everybody in the city like 10 times."
I wonder what was so enticing that you clicked it.
I have
Actually, I don't know if I want to know.
He was probably like,
Sports.
OnlyFans preview, click here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that would have just added to the embarrassment. It was like the mayor. I work at the Chamber of Commerce. All of our chamber members, and the worst part is no one else fell for it.
Oh,
like of all, like I emailed everyone.
He's
like
the guy, because every so often we'll get an email from iHeart or at our other gig, SiriusXM, where they're saying, someone's trying to fish around, don't click on whatever. Jordan's the guy that clicked on it. All right, so give us your big dreaming, Jordan.
Giants are going to do work. Better team, easier schedule. Dabble's calling plays, nothing to lose. Better offensive line coach. They're going to win the NFC East.
Let me tell you, that, my friends, is the best example of
big dreaming.
That is big dreaming. This guy's got a special. He's got the Mr. Pillow. He's dreaming that big.
He's got that patented fill from Mike Lindell. He's got that pillow action. Hey, man, I guess that's the point of the conversation. Yeah. But when you take away the favorites, right? Rich named them, and you take away the teams that are basically playoff bound. The rest of the league is one big question mark, and I don't see any of these teams competing, seriously. And that's why it's big dreaming. Like, Danny G's Raiders got to be in that conversation.
I mean, Danny, is that your big dream? Is your big dreaming that Minshew clicks like with Devontae Adams like no other? And
Danny G, that might be my answer because it's such a question mark, and you don't know what sort of fire they come out with. Again, they changed the culture last year, how it carries on this season. That's an exciting one for me. That's the only one that I can even buy into a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of ifs there. I saw a headline just 2 days ago that said Gardner Minshew could go either way. The season could go in the toilet really quick, or he could impress everybody and nail down a starting role finally where a team doesn't look to replace him immediately.
What up, Dan Byer?
And the tough thing with a team like the Raiders with Danny is they won 8 games last year. So it's like when you're talking about like the bad of the NFL, we're really talking maybe 4 or 5 teams that, because
could shock you.
Yeah, like exactly. Because when you look back at it, like my Seahawks didn't make the playoffs last year, fired their head coach and have a whole new regime. They went 9-8.
Your Seahawks are in a category in this meme. It's actually, we got to post it at COVINO and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. Your Seahawks are in a category of Lord knows. Lord knows. And there's several categories. The long shots are the Cardinals, the Vikings, the Saints, and the Raiders. The better luck next year is meaning the bottom of the barrel. Like, yeah, you're really big dreaming. Are the Giants, the Commandos, the Titans, Panthers, and Broncos. So,
and Patriots.
Oh, and Patriots, yeah. So,
I'm gonna go my big dreamin', bro. My big dreamin' is, what are you looking at me for?
We're the Patriots.
Take your finger off the thumbnail and go to the right.
Oh, yeah. It does carry on. All right. I was like, we're the Patriots on that, but it made sense. So
move your finger, Steve.
There it is.
Your thumb's covered. Your thumb is covering the Patriots.
Scroll it to the right. Get out of my face, you goonburger.
So I'll give you one.
Use your open eye, Frank.
I think you just talked about new regime in Seattle. You could say the same about the whole vibe for Washington.
Yes.
And if what if Jaden Daniels and that team, they got some weapons, they're a decent squad. What if the Washington Commandos, as you call them, what if the Commanders...
Well, you know what it is? Danny G says it all the time, and now it's stuck in my head.
Commandos.
Yeah, the Commandos.
What if Jaden Daniels is this year's C.J. Stroud and they go 9-8, 10-7, and actually upset that whole NFC East? That's my big dream, and I think that team, Dan Quinn, I think that's my out on a limb.
I think your big dreaming team that you choose also has to be a team that you're somewhat intrigued to watch. Like, are you intrigued at all?
Not usually, but
like
I
will tune into Danny G's Raiders if they're on. And they're going to be. I'm watching them.
Interesting. I'm more intrigued by the Commandos, if you will, than the Raiders. Yeah, because of what Rich said with Jaden Daniels. There's some that, in the fantasy world that a lot of us play in, there's some that think that Jaden Daniels will have a better year than Caleb Williams. And you have a veteran coach who'd gone to the Super Bowl, Cliff Kingsbury running the offense. I think that's a really, really good pick by Rich.
And by the way, if you're into fantasy sports, I heard I Want Your Flex is where it's at.
That is where it's at. Yeah. Yes.
I heard the host of that is pretty sweet.
Yeah, Harmon is awesome. The other guy, he's a moron.
So, again, this is big dreaming, bro. Take away the favorites and the teams that are playoff bound. What are the teams that you could see yourself rooting for and they might surprise you?
Yeah, you can't say, my big dreaming is, the Niners win the Super Bowl. That's come on. The big dreamin'.
You can't even say the Jets.
Yeah. Dan in Vermont, what's your big dreamin', man? What's up, bud? Dan. Hold on.
Dan the man.
What's up, Dan?
My big dream is that Drake May and Gerard Mayo click, and there's some respectability built again, because everybody's laughing at us, and season hasn't started yet. Let's see.
Yeah, you know what? It's not like Foxborough is an easy place to travel to. You still have a fan base and a legacy, and new coach, new quarterback. You're going to start with Jacoby Brissett, but I get what you're saying. Big dreaming would be by the end of the season, the Patriots are on their way to being respectable and, building back up. Not a lost cause. What's yours? Raiders? You going with Danny?
I'm going Raiders because you're talking about, what sort of differences we'll see. I'm excited to see what Minshew could bring as a starter with the Raiders. But a team I'm excited to watch that I was never excited to watch before, I don't know if they fall into this category, though. But I'm excited to see what Cousins could do in Atlanta.
I think they should win that division. So
that's not necessarily big dreaming.
It would be big dreaming if you said Cousins gets the job done and wins a Super Bowl in Atlanta.
I think
that's
they're a big maybe according to the charts here. Big maybe. Not necessarily big dreaming, but I'll tell you what, it's a big difference for me because I'm tuning in.
Guys, how about his replacement, Sam Darnold, having a huge year in Minnesota? Not necessarily with wins, but a huge passing season.
Was going to say that, but I thought you'd call me a brown noser because our boss just walked in and he's a Vikings fan. But
why you got to be kissing ass?
I'm not kissing the bosses. I'm just saying.
Hey, Rich, my dad just chimed in. Hey, Rich is kissing ass.
I'm just telling you. That Viking fan base is dedicated. I like Sam Darnold. You still have Justin Jefferson. You still have weapons. It's funny, during the break, just to prove I'm not full of it, I Googled Vikings weapons to see who they have that I might know, and it said sword and an axe. I'm like, oh, no, wrong. Wrong Google search. But yeah, I think that's not a bad pick. Let's go to Kelly in Cincinnati. What's up, Kelly?
Hey, Kelly. Your long shot pick.
What's up?
Hey,
Kelly.
Kelly and Cincy, you're on. Now it sounds like he's having some phone issues.
Sounds like he needs a rapid radio.
Let's go to Tony in Oregon. What's up, Tony?
Thanks for taking my call, gentlemen.
What's
I've got a big dream.
What's that?
That would be the Bears sweeping the Packers and making the playoffs this year.
You know, that is a big dream, but there's a lot of people so high on Caleb Williams that doesn't seem that shocking.
Yeah, they're on that like Falcons level of they're probably going to be pretty decent. But hey, excited to see what's up. DB?
The sweeping of the Packers would be something though for sure, considering how high people are on Green Bay for this season.
I saw a stat about Jordan Love from week 11 on last year because we talked about how the perfect word was Jordan Love was pedestrian, and then something clicked. I think his TD to interception ratio was 23-3 since week 11. So I don't know. I mean, that's not a big dream, but Chicago to sweep the Packers, that is a little big dreaming, I think.
I love the way that the Cardinals played. I felt that they were overmatched in many of their games last year, but they had the big win against Dallas. I think they played your Niners tough. 49ers ended up pulling away. I think with the addition of Marvin Harrison Jr., they still may be lacking on defense, but on offense, I think they've got something there.
All right, well, think about it. Thank you, Dan. Forget about the favorites and the teams that we assume are playoff bound. Who are the other long shots you want to add to the list? Because then we'll make a little mental note to we be watching.
I'm not sure I'm buying it, but you know what a good big dream would be based on what Dan said? The fact that Kyler Murray's not done. Everyone seems to write him off like, that guy was your top pick, right?